This tutorial is about the smart upgrade for products. I will explain it in 4 parts. First, the architecture of Tuya IoT ecosystem. Second, how to make your smart product compatible with Tuya IoT ecosystem. Third, PID information and management. Fourth, the question and answer. First of all, let's learn about what Tuya Smart is. This introduction to Tuya Smart is an excerpt from the official website of Tuya. We all know that the Internet of Things aims to connect all things. People and devices are interconnected through certain means or media. Based on these 3 types of objects, namely Tuya IoT platform, devices, and apps, are highlighted in this introduction to Tuya Smart. Note that apps are used by people to control devices. Tuya Smart can be interpreted as smart home. Users can control devices in their homes by using mobile phones. The most popular method to implement smart home is smart plus traditional. Smart means smart socket, and traditional means traditional appliances, such as air conditioner and TVs. Smart sockets can be turned on or off through mobile phones by connecting a smart socket to an appliance. Users can use their mobile phone to turn on or off the appliance. The following video demonstrates how to add a smart socket to the Tuya Smart app and how to use the app to control the socket. Open the Tuya Smart app and create a family. All devices in the family can be controlled in the app. Tap the plus icon in the top right corner to enter the Add Device page and select Socket Wi-Fi. Send the name and password to the Wi-Fi, to which your mobile phone is connected to the socket. After the socket ends the pairing mode, the mobile phone broadcasts the Wi-Fi name and password. The socket automatically connects to the Wi-Fi when it receives the Wi-Fi name and password. Register and activate the socket in Tuya IoT Cloud. Then the socket is added to the current family. Users can change the device name as needed. For example, the socket name can be changed to demo socket. Select a room and add the socket to the room. This panel is used for device control and we call it device panel. Users can tap on or off to turn on or off the socket and also set scheduled on-off tasks for the socket. This is the demo video. Now you may have an idea of how to use a mobile phone to control a socket. Now I will make a brief summary of the composition of Tuya IoT ecosystem. Tuya IoT ecosystem consists of 3 types of objects, namely Tuya IoT platform, devices, and apps. Tuya IoT platform is a web-based platform designed for administrators to develop and manage products. After a device is activated on Tuya IoT Cloud, all data of the device is stored on Tuya IoT platform. Devices carry software and hardware can become smart by relying on chips and programs. The Tuya Smart app is designed for users to control their devices. In the app, users can create and manage families, view device lists, and control devices, as shown in the previous video. Cloud devices and apps can communicate with each other, as shown in the figure. After embedding the networking chip in a device, the device becomes smart and compatible with Tuya IoT ecosystem. In this way, the device can be controlled by users through the Tuya Smart app. Well, how to create a smart product and make it compatible with Tuya IoT ecosystem? Let's find the answer in the second part of this tutorial. Before you develop a firmware, figure out which development mode suits you best. Here is the matrix for selecting a development mode. If you want to embed chips and modules in a product, select a development mode by performing the following steps. First, estimate whether your product can be embedded with Tuya modules. If your product can be embedded with Tuya modules, select a development mode based on your firmware coding capability. The first choice is the no-code development mode. In this mode, you can use Tuya modules and firmware directly, with no firmware coding required. If the firmware of the no-code development solution cannot meet the function requirement for the product, you can develop the firmware as needed or ask Tuya for customization. If your product cannot be embedded with Tuya modules, you can develop the firmware or program by using the Link SDK, which helps you connect your product to Tuya IoT Cloud. I will explain a few terms that appear in the matrix. SoC is System on Chip. The SoC development mode enables you to implement system program control for a product by using only one chip or module. Tuya OS is Tuya operation system. The Tuya OS development mode requires firmware coding. NCU is microcontroller unit. The NCU development mode requires you to implement complicated functions for your product by using NCU. In addition to aforementioned conditions, you can also select the development mode based on your products. To develop general lighting or electrical devices, we recommend that you give priority to the no-code development mode if it can meet your requirements. Also, you can ask Tuya for firmware customization for your products of all categories. If you need to implement complicated functions for your products, you can connect NCU to Tuya module to implement the functions. Tuya module implements the connection with Tuya IoT Cloud, while NCU are used to develop device functions. If your downstream customers have various requirements, you can customize firmware as needed. The Tuya OS development mode is suited to the development of following products: IP camera, gateway, and light sources. If none of Tuya solution meet your requirements, you can use Link SDK for development. After you determine the development mode, you can start to develop a product on Tuya IoT platform. This slide shows the steps for developing a smart product. Select a product category, such as the socket, to select a smart development mode. Tuya Link mode is suitable for finished products that have been connected to other cloud platforms. To develop a new smart product, you need to select the product development mode, Tuya OS. Select a development solution based on your conditions and requirements. We recommend that you select the no-code development solution. Tuya provides multiple no-code solutions applicable to various categories, such as electrical devices, lighting devices, and security sensors. Also, you must select a communication mode, which determines the module selection. Now we can log into Tuya IoT platform. In overview, you will see there is one entry for product development. You can click Create. We can select the category as the electrical and select a product power strip. Select the Tuya OS. The solution is no-code development solution. The protocol we select Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The product name we can name it Demo Socket. Click Create. There are some required functions, and you can also select other optional functions. The required function and some optional function. You can see there is no option for you to operate, but for the optional function, you can delete it. To deepen your understanding, I will create one custom solution to make you understand the difference between no-code development solution and the custom solution. Click Create. The category we select large home appliances. We select air conditioner. Select Tuya OS. For air conditioner, Tuya only provides the custom solution. Demo AC. We name the product name. In the protocol, we also select Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We can click All to select all functions. In custom solution, you will find you can click Edit button to change the data pointer name, and you can also delete the functions. Actually, you can delete all functions. You can delete all functions and edit all functions by yourself. But if we change to the no-code development solution, you will find there is no operation for you to edit the functions. You can only delete some optional functions, but for the required functions, you cannot delete it also. Now we can see what's the difference. For the no-code development solution, there is some standard functions. It is not editable, but for custom solution, the standard function is editable. This is the difference. And for some custom functions, you will see in custom solution, we can add some custom functions, but in no-code development solution, you cannot add it. Let's see. In no-code solution, there is no operation for you to add the custom function. You can only see the standard functions. But if we change to air conditioner, you will find that there is the standard functions, and also you can add some custom functions. For example, you can set the date type as bool as value. It depends on you. And the data type you also need to select send and report, or report only, or send only. Click OK. You can edit it and delete it. You can add the custom function. For the advanced functions like cloud timing and jumping page, they are same. There are some terms involved such as DP, DPID, report, and send. I will explain. A DP is a data point. This term is frequently used in Tuya. For example, the switch function and the countdown function of a socket are DPS. DPS are the functions that products provide. A DPID indicates the ID of a data point. Each DPID represents a DP and serves as the parameter in data transmission. Well, what's read and write operations? Smart devices report status to apps. For example, when a device is enabled, a message of device enabled needs to be synchronously reported to the connected app. To implement this, the device reports the device-enabled message to Tuya IoT Cloud, and then the app obtains the message from Tuya IoT Cloud and displays the message. App sends some instructions to smart devices. For example, a user can send the disable instruction through an app to a connected device. The instruction is sent to Tuya IoT Cloud. Then Tuya IoT Cloud Forward the instruction to the device to disable the device. Write operation corresponds to sending instructions through apps to device, while read operations correspond to reporting messages to app for display. The term RW means read and write, indicates that a DP such as on or off can be displayed and operated on the app. The term RO means it is read only, indicates that a DP can only be displayed on the app. After you have selected the functions for your product, you need to design the device panel. Tuya provides multiple device panels. You can open Tuya Smart app and scan the QR code of the panel to preview the UI design on the app. Here is the matrix for selecting a panel development mode. Give priority to all-in-one panel or studio panel. If the all-in-one panel cannot meet your requirements, select an SDK-based panel and design the code as needed. You can also ask Tuya to customize a panel based on your requirements or UI design. After finish the function definition, you need to click Device Panel. And here we select All-in-One Panel. You can scan the QR code of the panel by using Tuya Smart app to preview the panel design. In Tuya Smart app, you need to click Add Device. Scan the QR code. Then you will see the demo socket in your Tuya Smart app. You can turn on or turn off the socket. Currently, the device is virtual and does not exist. You can also click Edit to edit the panel UI. Click Edit. You can change the UI background color. You can change the UI scene color as needed, and also the font color. For the icon style, you can modify it. For example, click Modify and change it to one USB interface. Click Save. Then come back to the panel. We can see in IoT platform, we already changed the switch icon. Now let's see in app, what's the display effect. Let's refresh the device panel. Now we can see the icon style has been changed. So in this PPT, you can also see we can change the color and the content of all-in-one panel, including the icon style and the context display effect. This slide shows the differences between the panel before and after editing. All buttons are displayed in the same color, and the master switch is the button. The icon style and the switch name has been changed. If the panel design does not meet your requirements, you can select a studio panel. You can click Change. Select the Studio panel. Click. Studio panel is similar to Extra. It can help you to design the UI panel by dragging and dropping components. You can change the font size, icon size, and the content as needed. We can click the demo video. So what's the difference between all-in-one panel and the Studio panel? Studio panel offers more components than all-in-one panel and support adjusting the word size and panel size. A thing to note is that Studio panel supports custom data point, but all-in-one panel can only support the standard data point. You can select the data type components as needed. In terms of development duration, all-in-one panel takes effect immediately after the stack is set. By contrast, you must build components for Studio panel and spend the time developing and testing ARM SDK-based panel and Tuya customized panels. We suggest our customer to select all-in-one panel and the Studio panel. The steps for selecting panel are similar for the two development modes in this demo. An all-in-one panel is selected. In the third step, hardware development, we can see there are two options. One is NCO SDK development solution, one is Tuya OS solution. Now let's change to the demo socket. As it is no code access solution, you just need to select the module. After that, you will see there is one configuration which you need to fill in. You can set the reset time as 3 seconds, and you can set some button. You can select the button, which I/O port should connect the button. You can select by yourself. After that, you can click Generate Firmware. After you decide what firmware and module to use, you can purchase the module and refresh the firmware. You can do some debugging. If the firmware has been flashed to the module and you do some modification and you regenerated the firmware with I/O configuration modifications, you need to refresh the modified firmware to the module. You can download related documents at the bottom of the hardware development page. There is some PCB design, and you can see and download. If you use an NCO-based solution, a networker module is required. Tuya network module provides some general firmware inside. but you need to maintain the firmware of your MCU. You can upload your MCU firmware into Tuya IoT platform, and you can also roll out updates for the firmware. Select the module, custom firmware, and you can click Add Custom Firmware. The firmware type, you can click MCU firmware. At this time, you select MCU SDK solution. And you can upload the firmware. You can generate a firmware key by yourself. If you select Tuya OS solution, you also need to select the module because it is hardware. And you can add some custom firmware. Remember, in here, the button Add Custom Firmware means you need to add some firmware based on Tuya module. The firmware type, you need to select module firmware. That's the difference between the MCU SDK and Tuya OS when you want to upload some firmware. Now let's see the difference. For no-code development solution, you need to select the method for connecting the device to the cloud. It is no-code development, but for custom solution, there are two options, MCU SDK or Tuya OS SDK. The second, you need to select a module. For this, the no-code development solution and the custom solution use the same procedure. And also, we need to select the firmware. By default, modules and firmware are selected. You can view the I/O configuration online. And then, the last step for no-code development solution is download debugging documents. Compared with the no-code development solution, the custom solution has an additional step, which is device debugging. In next demo, I will display how to debug the product in Tuya IoT platform. We can create one device. Select the socket. Tuya OS custom solution. For custom solution, we can use the device debugging in IoT platform to check how the panel works. We can create one virtual devices. It exists in Tuya IoT Cloud and are used for stimulate real hardware devices. Let's see. Here I create one demo socket with custom solution. Click Continue to develop. We can see we click Go to the device debugging. Add virtual device. Click Add Device in Tuya Smart. Scan the QR code. You will find one virtual device in Tuya IoT platform. If you select the switch True and click Report, the app will display the power on. If you select False for the switch and click Report, the app will display power off. You can also set the relay status. For example, now it is off. You just click on and click Report. It will display on in Tuya Smart app. You can consider this one virtual IoT device in Tuya IoT Cloud. The first step of product development is product configuration. The two development mode has an identical product configuration step. More functions will be added to the product configuration step. If you have any questions, click the helper in the service icon. You will get some video tutorial, some document guidance about how to use this function. The product configuration takes effect immediately after you finish the configuration. You can configure the configuration based on your requirements. I will show you the available functions. The first one is the firmware management function. This function is very important and basically involves two steps. First, you need to create one available firmware with multiple versions. Second, select one version to update the product. You can roll out updates to a single device in the verification process or to all devices. The voice platform function allows you to connect supported voice platforms to your products. Currently, we support Alexa, Google Assistant, and in Chinese domestic, we support Xiaodu and other platforms. The multilingual function enables your product to support more than 60 languages. You can modify text as needed. This function was also introduced in the panel editing step. The device notification feature enables device messages such as the on or off state messages to be sent to mobile phones, or maybe just display the device status. Now let's see how to create one device notification in IoT platform. We can select the water purifier and click Continue to develop. Click Device Notification. We can delete it. And for this product, we can click Create Device Message Notification. We need to set the notification rules. For example, the child lock. click Save, and then it works. You can also do the configuration in Networking Connection Guide. You can modify the parent guide by yourself. You can modify the translation. You can modify the image or pictures, which will help customer to pair the device. I am going to show you how to pair a Zigbee device. A Zigbee gateway is required to pair a Zigbee device. The Zigbee gateway shown in the video is the wired gateway. The mobile phone gateway and the router are connected to the same local area network. The gateway can be detected by the mobile phone. Add a sub-device to the gateway. When the gateway is in the pairing mode, it will be automatically discovered by the gateway. Let's configure an automation that turns on switch 2 when switch 1 is turned on. The trigger condition of this automation should be device status change. For example, the device 1 is turned on, and the action is turning switch 2 on. After the trigger condition and action are specified, click Save to check whether the automation works. Turn on switch 1 to see whether switch 2 is turned on. If switch 2 is turned on, the automation works. A quick toggle allows user to quickly control a device in the device list without going to device control panel. In this case, switch 1, 2, and 3 are selected, indicating that the 3 switches can be turned on or off simultaneously by using the green button. A maximum of 4 common functions can be set on this page. You can select DPS as needed. Product knowledge management. By default, a product developed on Tuya IoT platform comes with universal product FAQs. You can also customize questions and answers on the device details page. For Lua script, you need to create a Lua script. You must complete several settings based on the DPS of Zigbee subdevice. The connection protocol of the subdevice is configured or developed on the cloud. When the subdevice is connected to the gateway, the Lua script is used to press the data point. Tuya offers automatic testing for no-code solutions. If you use a no-code solution, download the Tuya Cloud Test app and import the device to start the test. After the test is completed, a test report is generated. If you use a custom development solution, you can upload your test report or purchase Tuya value-added testing service to help Tuya complete the test for you. After you submit the test report, you are ready to release the product. Click Release Product. You will be promoted to confirm the module, data point, software, and the device panel. Click Confirm Release and the development process ends. Then the product state changes from the developing state to the developed state. This is all about the product development. Next, we move to the third section, PID information and PID management. In the previous steps, we create a PID and went through a 5-step development process. Each PID has its associated data point, device panel style, and the module and firmware information. Production information and the shipping orders are also managed by PID. When a user activates a device ID is generated. Device data associated with the PID is reflecting on the device management page. Each device has device logs, firmware versions, and version updates are also implemented at the PID level. Additionally, Tuya IoT platform provides visual statistics about device usage, such as the number of activated devices and faults. What is a PID? PID stands for Product ID. A PID is also called a product code. Each device integrated with the Tuya IoT ecosystem has a PID. Tuya Cloud recognizes products based on PID. A PID is associated with the information of the product, including the data points, app control panel, user account, frequency of use, and shipping orders. In what case do you need to create a PID? The first case is you have different types of products, such as mobile phones, tablets, air conditioners, and televisions. The second case is that your products fall under the same category but has different modules, such as mobile phones with different screen size and storage capacities. A device ID is also called a virtual ID. It is a device code randomly assigned by Tuya Cloud to a device code added to the app. Device ID are closely related to users. Devices used by different users have their own logs and operation information. Device data is stored and managed by device ID. A device will be assigned two different device ID if it is activated under two different user accounts. In this case, operational logs of the device and the two accounts are managed by using two separate device ID. UUID stands for Universal Unique Identifier. The term UUID is commonly used in hardware products. Once the device is manufactured and shipped from the factory, the UUID will remain unchanged. If the device is activated repeatedly or used by different users, the device will have different device IDs. However, the UUID is always the same. Tuya IoT Cloud uses UUID to verify devices and assign the device IDs. You can go to Device Management to track all devices with the same PID. The total number of the device is the number of device ID. The bounded devices are activated devices that are operating, unbounded devices and devices that are activated and unbounded. You can go to Device Management to track all devices with the same PID. Device logs are generated to record device operation. You can view logs by device ID. Instructions reported by device or sent from the app can be found in device logs. When you debug a device, device logs are useful for identifying issues. When there is device data, efficient data statistics are expected. Tuya IoT platform provides visual data presentations. In Data Dashboard, you can view all data of your PIDs under your account, the number of activated devices, device usage, and faults. This facilitates product statistics and operations. We are at the end of the tutorial. Let's make a recap. This course is designed to help you understand your needs and how Tuya IoT platform helps you develop smart products. Now you know which firmware and panel development mode suits you best, and you can follow our instructions to develop your products. Tuya IoT platform enables you to manage and define data points, hardware, software, and app-based control panel. It provides many useful functions and detailed product development documents. Creating a PID is the first step to start your development journey on Tuya IoT platform. Now it's time for question and answer.